You may be seated. Well, welcome. My name is Dr. David Boyce. I'm the Director of Student Affairs and your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. I'd like to thank you for all of you for attending the Hanover College Doctor of Physical Therapy White Coat Ceremony for the class of 2024. This is truly a momentous occasion. Before I begin, I want to say thank you to some very special people that have worked very hard to make this event a reality. So I would like to ask Miss Elsa Conboy to stand. Miss Elsa Conboy. Where are you, Elsa? Come on out, Elsa. Mr. Andrew Pretorius, back here. And Mr. Garnet Tipton. We couldn't have done this without you guys, honestly. Thank you for all of your hard work, okay? So I'd like to now invite Dr. Reverend Catherine Knott to perform our opening invocation. Dr. Knott.
Please pray with me. Loving God, we give you thanks for our chance to participate in the healing arts, for both our gifts that you have bestowed and for your grace that makes our vocation possible. We thank you for the community of mentors, teachers, family, friends, and classmates that surround us, and for those seen and unseen that have made our journey possible. Your compassion for us is evident in the faces of all we encounter, and we know that this is not work we do by ourselves. As we proceed along our path, we ask for patience and wisdom and discernment. We also ask that we might be agents of your love, attending to the body, mind, and spirit of those we care for. We are grateful to be here, O God, and ask that you continue to walk with us in this joyful new adventure ahead. We say all of this in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Knott. I would like to now introduce Dr. Gregory Klein, the Program Director of the Hanover DPT program, to say a few words. Dr. Klein.
Thank you, Dr. Boyce. Apparently my face does not look like my normal face with this tam on tonight, so it finally opened up. So on behalf of Hanover College's administrators, faculty, and staff, I would like to welcome everyone to this evening's special occasion. I would also like to extend a special welcome to our audience who are attending the ceremony via our live stream this evening. Thank you for taking the time to recognize our students' accomplishments. We are so thankful that you are all here tonight. The White Coat ceremony this evening represents a significant milestone for our physical therapy students. The class of 2024 will transition from the didactic portion of this program to their first clinical education experience, where they will collaborate with their clinical instructors to take in everything that they've learned during the first year of this program and apply it to patient care in a variety of different settings. In late July, I traveled to Washington, D.C. with several of our DPT faculty to attend the American Physical Therapy Association's House of Delegates. And one of the things that I brought back was this awesome American Physical Therapy Association t-shirt. On the back of it, it has something that resonates for me as a clinician and an educator. It says on the back, trust the process. As physical therapists, we all trust the process even after we graduate because we're continually learning about who we are as a human being and as a professional that we're becoming, because we're always trying to strive to do something that's exceptional to promote our profession. So during the House of Delegates, the American Physical Therapists Association current president, Dr. Roger Herr, addressed the association's members during the House of Delegates. And he stated something that resounded after I left the House of Delegates. And I kept on thinking about his quote. And he said, in the moment, things don't always feel orderly like a book. The chapters run together. They're not always in order, but eventually a story will emerge. A story of people taking action to shape their future. DPT students, Dr. Herr's statement should resound with you because the first couple months, first couple weeks of your experience at Hanover College DPT probably didn't feel orderly for you. When I began PT school, I recall feeling as though I was stuck on a one-page Walter Piper's famous children's novel, The Little Engine That Could. So many days and nights I repeated to myself, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can do this. And I did that, and I just repeated while I attempted to overcome so many different obstacles in hopes of getting over the mountain and graduating as a physical therapist. And last year, you all began your journey in this DPT program. For many of you, in that moment of beginning this program, it probably felt as though you were stuck on a single page or a chapter in just a single book. Many of you probably felt like you were jumping from page to page from one book to another at that point. It certainly didn't feel like you were reading your favorite novel from start to finish. And that's when you quickly learn that physical therapy school is not a journey of one. It's a journey about connecting with others. And you probably also learned to appreciate Red Bull and a lot of coffee during that first year of the program. So now it's apparent that the connections that you've made with your fellow students, the faculty and staff, help you to realize that a story is beginning to emerge for each one of you. So, class of 2023, it is time to take on the next chapter of this program, your clinical rotations. For the bulk of you, this will be the first experience working with real patients that have real challenges. And as I reflect upon some of the patients that I've treated throughout my professional career, some of the most memorable patients that I've ever seen and had the pleasure of treating were the ones that I treated with my clinical instructors in PT school. The next phase of your educational journey will require you to exhibit enhanced levels of grit, courage, and commitment to your profession as you apply all of your newly gained knowledge that you've gained this past year to real patients. You'll likely feel a mix of nervousness and excitement at the beginning of your first clinical. Rest assured that your eagerness to start working with patients and learning from experts in our field will overshadow these feelings. You will observe and shadow your clinical instructor as they begin to acquaint you with your patient caseload. Quickly, you will be immersed in the dynamics of treating patients in your assigned setting. Your sense of responsibility as you interact with patients will be heightened. You'll recognize that your actions can and will directly impact your patient's health and well-being. I will attest that this can be both intimidating but empowering. Your experiences will evolve from simple tasks associated with patient care of your patients to challenging and emotionally charged situations. But rest assured, in tandem with your clinical instructors, you will be prepared to support critically ill patients and discuss difficult diagnosis with individuals as you help restore their function. Your clinical instructors are experienced mentors that are going to guide you with constructive feedback and ensure the experience will be valuable and less overwhelming. And I encourage all of you to always reflect on your performance based on the feedback that's given to you from your instructors. And this reflection will allow you to identify areas of improvement, understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and refine your approach to the management of your clients and patients. Ultimately, this clinical education experience or chapter will be deeply rewarding because of the potential that you have to impact your patients' lives positively. And as things progress, I encourage you to continue to engage and seek from our seek guidance and support from our DPT faculty during your rotations. Our faculty know firsthand that this transition can be stressful. Make sure to prioritize your physical and mental well-being as you transition from one clinical experience to the next, because you can do this. I can speak for our faculty, and I cannot wait to hear about the amazing experiences that all you will have while you're on your clinical rotations, including everyone that you're going to meet. For me, it was helping a World War II veteran who once served in General S. Patton's brigade during World War II. I recall hearing stories from another one of my patients about his time playing with Mickey Mantle. And I'm also vividly recalling a time working with a woman that had a total knee replacement that reminded me that PT does not stand for physical therapy, it stands for pain and torturous. So class of 2023, I'm fortunate to celebrate this milestone of this transformation. And on behalf of Hanover College's administrators, our staff, our faculty, we are so proud of you for achieving this accomplishment. I think Warren Gatlin, or the famous rugby coach from New Zealand, said it best. And he said, "Be the best at everything that doesn't require talent." DPT class, remember, as you start your first clinical, being a physical therapist doesn't require you to be the best at everything that doesn't require you to have talent. However, being a physical therapist requires you to be the best at everything that involves a gait belt and a squat pivot transfer. So congratulations to all of you. I am just so fortunate to join every one of you in this celebration. Congratulations. Thank you.
Words of wisdom from Dr. Klein. I'd like to now introduce our provost, the provost of our college, Dr. Kerry Adams. He's our keynote speaker, and he's going to talk to you guys a little bit, and I think you'll really enjoy his talk. Dr. Adams.
Thank you, Dr. Boyce, and Dr. Klein, and Reverend Dr. Knott. And thank you to all of the DPT faculty and staff, as well as the Office of Graduate Student Services, for all that you've done up until this event, making this event happen, and for all that I know you will continue to do as you continue to support this class. And to you, students, congratulations on your success this far, on your putting up with all that I know your physical therapy professors have made you endure. And know that this is a demanding, rigorous program, and you have excelled. You have reached the point in your education where you less frequently ask for help and increasingly turn to others and ask, how can you help? We're proud of you. We're excited for you. And let me extend a special welcome and thank you to all of your loved ones and friends who are here to celebrate with us, whether in person or joining us online. You know, your students have not come this far without you or without your support. When I heard a couple of weeks ago how many guests we were expecting for tonight, quite frankly, I was kind of astonished. It's impressive enough that I think there are 98 of you coming from 30 states at least, but to have so many of your friends and loved ones join with you, that really is impressive and very much appreciated. It means so much to all of us that you have invested the time, the effort, and probably the expense to come be a part of this milestone event. And I hope to see all of you about a year from now at this class's graduation. Now, students, I don't have to point out to you that this ceremony marks the midpoint of your program, both in terms of months and in the focus of your education, turning from didactic instruction to clinical training. It's an opportunity to look backward and to anticipate what comes next, but it's also a time to pause and be present and appreciate the moment. So if you would, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and tell yourself, good job. You've got this next part too. Now, white coat ceremonies are a relatively new phenomenon. They trace their origins to the University of Chicago's Pritzker School of Medicine in 1989, but the first full-fledged white coat ceremony was in 1993 at Columbia University School of Medicine and was created by Dr. Arnold P. Gold. Now, the practice of physicians wearing white coats generally actually dates back to the 19th century, when physicians began to wear white coats to symbolize their commitment to scientific principles and research as the basis for the practice of medicine. Now, in recent years, it's become increasingly common for physicians and other medical staff to eschew the white coat in favor of scrubs or other more casual attire. Now, there have actually been debates about whether the formality of the white coat is outdated, whether it contributes to an appearance of elitism or hierarchy in a profession that has become increasingly team-based. And there are even debates about germ transmission from patient to patient. One study from 2021 found that a majority of patients still prefer their medical professionals to wear white coats. But at the same time, some predict that conformity to this norm will eventually decline. I'm sure that all of you have or will have various experiences of expectations in your different clinical settings. But whether a white coat becomes part of your daily uniform, or, like this rather warm academic regalia, goes from daily wear to something you pull out of the closet just for special occasions, like regalia, what it represents is much more important than its functionality. So what does your white coat mean? In terms of your education, it means clinical rotations and your work with patients. It means you're still a student. What you have on the backs of your chairs is a short coat, as perhaps some of your colleagues who are licensed medical professionals will remind you that it's a short coat and not a long coat like the one they may be wearing. Even though you are a student, patients and colleagues will still rely on you. To most patients, me for example, a white coat is a white coat. They're looking to you for care, concern, expertise, and help. And as you prepare to enter and practice your profession, the white coat reminds you that your training and your practice are grounded in scientific principles and research. That doesn't mean you have unquestionable answers. It means that you keep asking questions and relying on your communities of knowledge and practice to provide the best evidence-based care possible. It also means that your study and research don't end with the granting of a degree. Your white coat communicates your commitment to the expectations and responsibilities appropriate to the physical therapy profession, as expressed in the oath that you will take in just a few moments. And ultimately, it's not the coat, it's you. It's always been you. You must embody all that the coat is supposed to represent. Scrubs or white coat or fleece pullover, we're looking to you as healers. Now, as I observed earlier, you're in the middle of your doctoral education. There's another way in which you are in the middle. You'll be the second DPT class to graduate from Hanover College's program, which sort of makes you the second-born child in our fast-growing DPT family. The middle child, if you will. The class of 2023 got to have a lot of firsts. The first commencement, the first degrees, the first white coat ceremony. Now, I'm a middle child myself, so I get it. I know what it's like to feel like the older siblings get all the attention. Every waking moment of the first child's life captured in Facebook albums and Instagram stories. Their every accomplishment celebrated as amazing. Then by the time you do all the same things, they're just routine. But you also benefited from having them blaze a trail, helping your parents learn by trial and error so they're just a little bit less clueless when you come along. Maybe your parents give you a little more breathing room, a little more autonomy. But you have made and continue to make the Doctor of Physical Therapy program here at Hanover College better. The family is enlarged and enriched by you. Your professors are better because of you. The next and future cohorts will benefit from your experiences and your contributions. Believe it or not, they will look up to you. Now you may look at them and think, boy, they got it easy when I was in the program. You will be special and unique to your teachers and mentors because you were the second and not the first, and not the fifth, and not the 15th. And if you put any stock in birth order theories, characteristics commonly associated with middle children include independence, adaptability, creativity, and being skilled negotiating and managing relationships. Those sound like pretty good qualities for a physical therapist. So you're in a middle place in more ways than one. And in your clinical placements, you certainly will be in the middle of the practice of physical therapy. However, I think for all these ways in which we might describe you as being in the middle, the more apt description would be to say that you are in the midst. The only thing truly middle or halfway about your program is the calendar. To be in the midst of doing something is to be doing it at this moment. Your classroom, lab, and clinical learning will continue to overlap and circle back upon one another. To be in the midst of a group of people is to be among them or surrounded by them. Now, you may be the second class to graduate, but you already are in the midst of a wonderful and growing family. You're not behind or ahead of other classes so much as you are with them, in the midst of them. And while some patients may view physical therapy as what comes between their injury or illness and their wellness, truth is that you are with them in the midst of their recovery, their pain, their impatience, their struggle, their hope, and their progress. Whatever happens in the future, when you are feeling confident or insecure, triumphant or discouraged, remember that you are in the midst of so many who love, support, and hope for you. Remember that you will always be in the midst of learning. Remember that you are never halfway to anywhere in life. You simply are in the midst of living, learning, and serving. Mark your days by the ways in which you are growing and helping others to grow, because all of your journeys will end sooner than you will have hoped. So as you prepare to take your oath and don your white coat, let me say again, and not for the last time, congratulations. And as you get ready to begin your clinical training, Godspeed, you're going to do great. And finally, thank you for answering such a noble call to serve. Thank you.
Dr. Adams, I have 3 children, and I found my middle child to be the most challenging. I'm not saying anything, it's just an observation. Okay, so we will now begin the presentation of the white coats. I'd like to invite Dr. Renee Thomas, who will be performing the roll call of the students, and Dr. Sharon McFadden and Dr. Dean Jacks to coat the students. And Mr. Tipton, do you mind queuing the students up for us?
Seth Abdallah. Kristen Addison. William Aaron. Wyatt Amdahl. Kyla Bender. Taylor Berger. Kalina Binkard. Diamond Bonaparte. Andrew Brown. Justine Bruce. Megan Carbajal. Antonia Cassidy. Jared Compton. Justin Cordell. Miranda Cuff. Andrew David. Kalina Degnagard. Jakira Duncan. Dakota Eggert. Osamachuku Ejim. Annie Emmerich. Megan Evans. Connor Garrison. Travius Garth. Haley Gutermuth. Corbin Hale. Samantha Hale. Lacey Harris. LaShannon Hinkle. Braylon Holt. Rachel Holtrop. Tyler Hoover. Connor Hubbard. Amberly Hudson. Casey Heyer. Russell Johnson. Dakota Jones. Michael Kellum. Caitlin Kelly. Mitch Lammert. Owen Lauer. Sean Lauer. Robert Lee. Layla Least Alston. Jedediah Liebel. Ishan Lothe. Adrian McGill. Rodney Marquez. Bailey McWhirter. Fauberline Maynard. Chelsea Mers. Alexis Miller. Raquel Miner. Karina Miramontes. Michael Shane Moore. Jalen Mosley. Leah Murphy. Mycham Wynn. Kimberly Nichols. John Nixon. Jesse Nutt. Antonia Okafor. Samira? Samira. Okay. Marib Samire Paisley. Shira Padilla. Adam Pangborn. Michelle Parker. Danielle Perry. Samuel Poling. Madison Porter. Cameron Riddle. Alexis Riley. Brian Robertson. Claudia Rodriguez. Ian Rubalid. Corinne Sanderson. Jonathan Sauer in absentia. Dylan Schmizing. Nathan Scrobot. Lauren Smith. Paul Snesko. Joshua Stoffer. Ian Stetler. Alexis Thomas. Miranda Tramison. Albert Tran. Jenna Tucker. Michelle Van Dusen. Chi Amy Vang. Gino Vella. Giuseppe Vitali. Mackenzie Walker. Benjamin Weiser. Sherry Willis. Kevin Wood. Samuel Wolf.
Will all the students rise? Well, don't they look good? Yeah, they do. I think in your left coat pocket, if I'm not correct, in your left lower coat, you have the physical therapy oath. If you would please get that out. All right, are you ready to do this? Let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna do is I'm gonna read a passage, and then you'll recite the passage. And I'll give you a little gesture so you know, okay? All right, here we go. As a physical therapist dedicated to providing the highest quality care and services, I solemnly pledge I will. Respect the rights and dignity of all individuals who seek my services or with whom I work. Act in a compassionate and trustworthy manner in all aspects of my services. Exercise sound professional judgment while abiding by legal and ethical requirements. Demonstrate integrity during interactions with colleagues, other healthcare professionals, students, faculty, researchers, and the public, and even the payers for the enhancement of patient care and the advancement of the profession. Enhance my practice through lifelong acquisition and application of knowledge, skills, and professional behaviors. Participate in efforts to meet physical therapy and healthcare needs of local, national, and global communities. Thus, with this oath, I accept the duties and responsibilities that embody the physical therapy profession. Students of the class of 2024, welcome to the profession of physical therapy. Let's give these guys a hand. Way to go. We could look at them all day, couldn't we? All right, students, you may be seated. I would like to invite Dr. Reverend Catherine Knott to perform the blessing of the hands. Dr. Knott.
As Dr. Adams reminded, it's not your white coat that gives you the privilege of this opportunity. That's part of it, but it is your hands, your body, your mind, and your spirit that's connecting with those around you. That is the gift that enables you to do this work. And so we have a blessing of the hands to remember that it's our own person that we bring to every moment in our healing work. So let us pray together. Healing God, we give thanks for our bodies, that we would have the privilege to participate in the healing of other bodies through our touch. Bless our hands, that they will offer solace, connection, strength, encouragement, that they would proclaim your love in their daily work. Enlarge our hearts and bless these two, to be patient in our practice, in the drudgery of our everyday work, so that we would never lose sight of our call and purpose. We ask that you would heal our hearts and our bodies and our minds, so that we would know your tender touch in our own lives and offer to others a whole person who might be fully present to where they are. Be with us in everything that we do, reminding us that you seek shalom for each and every member of your creation. That is all of us, that is all of our patients, that is our colleagues, and everyone that we will encounter. We say all of this in your name. Amen.
Well, thank you, Dr. Knott. Well, this concludes our white coat ceremony. It's been fun and memorable for the class of 2024. Just wanted to put a few notes out there to everyone following the recessional. We'd like to invite everyone to come out into the lobby and enjoy some refreshments and some fellowship. There are some tables also in the back, so you can spread out all over the place. And we would like the students to note this as the recessional moves out. If you would, follow the recessional out these doors, and we're going to go right out immediately onto the front steps of the building where you're going to have your class photo, okay? Family and friends, if you'd like to go ahead and come on out and take some photos, please do so. It's a good time to do that. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for attending, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much. Please be seated until the recessional processes out.